So as the world turns and things continue to move along in the year, we are approaching Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the day of judgment. Rosh Hashanah is the day in which our year will be set out before us. Now comes along this rabbi, his name is Rabbi Yitzchak Morgenstern, and he is known as the Rabbi I think they say Itchy Morgenstern. They call him Itchy. And he is a colleague, or he was a compadre of Rabbi Yitzchak, or Yosef Chaim Memron. So these people are about the same age. So they're producing tremendously flowering. They're coming up with tremendous things. This is about the month of Elul. Because Elul is the time of the preparation for the Day of Judgment. So therefore we have to understand different kinds of situations as the world continues to turn, and one day turns into the next, and we are getting closer and closer. The concept of here is returning back to our beginnings. And that's why here at the Tikkun Elevator Kola we're looking at Shara Kilkolim, because we have to understand what are the beginnings of who are we, what part of us is going to start anew and be judged on Rosh Hashanah. So here we come to the Sea of Wisdom, again by Rabbi Morgenstern. Now he asks a little question here. We'll try to get through it as best we can. So it says like this. Let me get this up here where we can see it, okay? So it says, knowing that Hashem is here even when one falls. Now, it's an interesting idea. We all make mistakes. We could fall into terrible problems in our homes and who knows what. With our families, with our panoso, with all different kinds of problems that come up out of nowhere, all different kinds of things. When one finds himself in a very low place, very discordant place. But he knows that, but not letting that knowledge prevent him from doing tshuva. He knows that Hashem is there in his fall. He recognizes it. It's a big thing. But that knowledge could keep a person possibly from being able to do tshuva, and that's what he says, but not letting that knowledge, that is, that Hashem is always there, prevent doing tshuva. Now some of this has some really basic Kabbalah in it. And so let's take a look at it. It says Hashem wants every Jew to pursue the Shechinah. Shechinah is another name for Malchus, that is the Malchus of Olam Hatzilus. So understand, for those of you who don't know this, there are 4 hidden worlds that separate us from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, from infinity itself. And these worlds are called by the names of, from the bottom to the top, Asiya, the world of action. Other places, the Kabbalists call it the world of wheels. Imagine this world without wheels, and the world is round and it is turning. He says, so from that world you go up to another world which is called Yetzirah, which is a concept of formation, and Bria, which is creation. And then another world hidden within inside of that, which is right next to infinity, is called the world of Atzilus. So we have to understand all of these hiddennesses. Where we are in the most hidden place. Our world is not, you don't just look out and feel the radiation of God. So Hashem wants every Jew to pursue the Shechinah. That is the Shechinah, the Malchus of Atzilus, the opening to pure oneness with Hashem. As the Pasuk says, the Pasuk, Im bezos, with this, Yishalo hamischalo haseichel v'yedua osi. Rather, he that glories shall glory. He that glories. In other words, person brings kavod to Hashem. Yishalo, he says, shall glory in this. He will have this glory in this fact, that he understands and knows me. So this is from Yirmiyahu, that he understands and knows me. This glorying is unique to the tzaddikim. This glorying is very, very unique to the tzaddikim who bind themselves to the Shechinah. Now understand, we've talked about this before, is that what is a tzaddik? A tzaddik is a person who's been able to develop himself to a point where he's constantly in contact with Olam Atzilus. He's open to it all the time. However, Hevel, remember Hevel, Cain and Hevel, erred by focusing on the Shechinah. So he only thought the world was like living on, like the guru on top of the mountain, thereby causing damage. But the world is still here. The world is still turning. He wanted to be out of it. The idea behind this is that the Shechinah is always with us. Understand that. And he's going to bring this out a little bit more, a little greater depth. Even when a person sins, that even when a person is sinning, so in other words, is it the worst possible place? Look at us in America. We are one Jewish people. But what is the percentage of people that have a knowledge of Torah and how to behave? What the importance of a synagogue? We've been dispersed and scattered and beaten. They are still a people. But nonetheless, that Shechinah is always with us, even when we're lost. This is alluded to in the pasuk. This pasuk, Mamrim Hayisem Hashem, you were rebellious with Hashem. And he says, against Hashem. So he says, although one must initially realize that Hashem is always with us, everywhere. So this is a realization that's important, that people don't realize it's Hashem, but it never stops being. That doesn't mean the truth is not there. And there could be awareness of the fact that even in the mistakes that we've made in our life and the paths that we've taken, and we'll realize that he's there. Okay, so he says he's there. He's both imminent, immediately in front of us. This is slight misprint here. And transcendent. That means that transcendent means what? God is nothing. Not a thing. He's not a light. He's not a radiance. He's not a glow. It's nothing. But nonetheless, there is a will there, manifest in us. It comes all the way down to us. That's what transcendent means. He develops a light, or a light develops around him, and that light comes to us. Nevertheless, one must immediately ascend with this awareness that if you have the awareness that God is still here, even no matter what you're doing, that a person has to take this and use it as a tool to ascend to the higher place of tshuva. That means really want to bind yourself to God, to want to be beyond the pain of this world, and not remain in the lower place of breakage and sin, and not remain in a world which has so much negativity to it. It's forbidden to remain too long in the world of breakage. That's this world, where nothing lasts. Nothing lasts. No physical thing lasts. Instead, one must return to Hashem with thoughts of tshuva. Hashem, in other words, go back, search, seek infinity, find your place in it, so that the sin is uprooted completely and disappears. The truth is that the separate worlds of Bria. Now, this is an idea that we have to try to think about like this. Think the teaching here is really from the Ari, and that what he's saying is like this: inside the inside of the inside of the inside is all really the same thing. So what the words are like this. The truth is that the separate worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah, so those are the three lower worlds in Kabbalah, they're called Bia, are not really down below, not lower worlds, as appears to be the case. It appears to be like that. And when we talk about it, we talk about our world's the lowest world. Since the sin of Adam HaRishon, so since Adam HaRishon made his mistakes, and we are his progeny, and so therefore we have to relive them. Though we say, well, since the sin of Adam HaRishon, really their main place is above. There's no fall. The fall never really happened. Bound up together with the world of Atzilus, which is the entrance way to infinity, as will be apparent in the ultimate future. Therefore, it is wrong to damage the Shechinah by focusing too much on the fact that she is presently dwelling in the lowest possible places. So he means to say that, to think that, wait a minute, let me read his word for it. There it is wrong to damage the Shechinah. How do you damage the Shechinah by this? By focusing too much on the fact that she is presently dwelling in the lowest possible places. That is our world. Rather, one must know that Malchus extends down through all the worlds. In other words, the core. All the worlds are built around the core of Atzilus. So it's a template for everything that appears afterwards. And immediately binds the Shechinah back up again to the highest places, because if you make that contact, you can automatically move to the highest possible places, which is the Malchus of Atzilus, which is down here with us, shining into us, if we want to get on that elevator. Places, these are highest places, And Hashem's light through the power of one's thoughts. Now, here's another thing, that your mind, as Rabbi Memron has said, moves faster than the speed of light. It is possible to connect to something beyond speed. This is Baruch Fleischman, and this is the Tikkun Elevator Kola.